it personally. There's a personal vested interest in watching Annie Manning go down to the ground. So
Okay, Bill, I got to play this for you. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. Let me grab this again. Okay. Our intro music at the start of the show.
yeah,
One of the great rock songs of all time.
yeah, what a great song.
Free Will by Rush. You'll be happy to hear 1980.
Oh,
1980. I did look it up. Geddy Lee, bring it on.
Let me tell you, Ron, I respect that. There's a lot of people out there in the world that would secretly look it up, find out they're wrong, and then just put their phone away. And I've done that in the past where it's like, oh, I'm wrong. And I just lock the phone and move on. But I respect that, Ron.
No, in most cases, I can be very self-deprecating. And the path that's clear.
Hey,
I will choose free will. Just a great message of the song. By the way, it took way too long to get them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I believe it was.
Don't play that too long. I don't want to have to pay them.
I believe it was for political purposes that they didn't get them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, by the way, we've had a little bit of perspective now on the issue that we talked about last week with the Antifa guys putting the sign out in Boston at the ballpark there and what happened there.
That thing is just a giant mess.
No, and we find out now that it was just garbage. It was somebody looking for attention.
Yep, and Antifa claiming that it was them, and it wasn't. So, it's the thing is like a lot of people in the end, and I know we talked about some of the comments that people said. In the end, a lot of people were like, "How the hell did they get a sign the size of a howitzer cannon inside of the ballpark?" That's the bigger question.
Yeah, did they just walk in with that and say, "Hey"? Did they know? Did it inside job? Did somebody? They threw it over a fence and then somebody went and grabbed it.
Somebody was like, "If they can bring that sign in the ballpark, I'm bringing my flask."
We were going to talk a lot about this weekend's NFL games. We got a great list full list of NFL games, but I guess we could talk about the Giants. Skip that, not the Giants. I was going to say Giants, Dodgers, Rams, 49ers. The Rams, 49ers, because that's Thursday night game, because that apparently will be the last NFL game, because you probably heard the rapture is Saturday. It's the end of the world.
I did.
Did you catch that? The end of the...
I have heard a lot of conspiracy theories, it seems, over the past few weeks.
Yeah, there's a Christian preacher, that says that the end of the world is coming on Saturday because the number 33 is significant here. He says the number 33, and I don't know his name. If you see it there, let me know. But the number 33 is significant because it's 33 days after the eclipse, Saturday.
Okay.
The eclipse, I guess just pick out that eclipse. I don't know why that eclipse was all that important, but that eclipse, 33 days. Plus, 33 is significant because the name Elohim, the name of God, is mentioned 33 times in the Bible.
All right.
Jesus lived to 33 years old.
All right.
What number was Larry Bird?
So what does that have to do with it, though?
What number was Larry Bird?
33.
Oh, Bill, see? We don't have to talk about football this weekend. We just have one game.
We're not going to make it.
The final game of the NFL forever is going to be the LA Rams against the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco on Saturday, on Thursday night.
I have also heard and I know we're going off sports for a second on this.
Oh, no, because there's no more sports.
So apparently there's this planet that I read online. It's a conspiracy theory. There's this planet, and it's about 9 times the size of the Earth.
Yep.
And it takes like 170,000 million years, 170,000 years to orbit the sun or something, a ridiculous amount of time. And when it comes back around this time, it will actually be on a collision course with Earth, and it will crash right into Earth and utterly destroy the entire planet.
I'm Googling it now. End of the world.
I think the planet, and don't quote me on it, Ibris, I-B-R-I-S or I-D-R-I-S. So it's supposed to be... Well, so let me know if I got that right.
No, I do like when good science is used to predict the end of the world. Now, nobody else but this guy has seen this planet. because no other scientist can find it.
Well, I guess what they're saying...
They say it doesn't exist.
The conspiracy theory
of course,
is
they're in on
a
it.
few scholars have found it, but NASA is denying it so that there is no widespread panic.
Well, of course they are. Of course NASA's denying it. So we've got that to have to deal with, and I don't know how much of a factor to make that into this podcast and whether it should be. We probably buried the lead.
So
that should have been the lead.
Nibiru.
Okay. Nibiru. Oh, yeah,
it'll smash into Earth on September 23rd, Saturday.
That's Saturday. See, there's no football Sunday. So the last NFL game we'll have is two of the worst teams in the league right now, and that's the LA Rams. We have to see one of those miserable football games. My LA Rams against the San Francisco 49ers.
It is debatable as to whether they're the worst, though.
Two of the
So I did post on Twitter.
They're still the Jets in Cleveland.
The betting line for the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday opened. The betting line for the Colts opened. Now the Colts are playing at home against the Cleveland Browns, and they opened as an underdog. The Colts.
They're hoping the planet Nibru hits us. Larry Bird, by the way, was number 33, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm still not drawing the
all the 33s all come together.
There are a lot of 33s in sports.
All come together.
Why did you choose Bird?
Because Larry Bird has how many letters in his name? His last name?
And not 33.
4 letters. Okay. How many Gospels are there in the New Testament? The 4 Gospels of the New Testament. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Larry Bird has 4 letters in his last name. B-I-R-D. Okay, listen. I don't know how many more signs you need, Bill.
Ron doesn't make this stuff up.
We're outdoors.
Confirmed fact.
We're outdoors tonight, and we may see the planet Nibru.
I'm surprised. So if this thing is supposed to crash into the Earth in 3 days, and it's 9 times the size of the Earth, and we don't see it. But
NASA says they don't see it.
But I can see Venus in the sky right now.
NASA says they don't. Right now we can. Like right now,
I can see the planet Venus. I don't see and
okay,
and that's
so
more than 3 days away.
Okay, but we will talk when we do talk about the NFL schedule this weekend. It's pending. Let's go with that. Okay, I'll give you that, Bill. I'll give you the pending.
Yeah, but bookies, just cancel your lines. This is it. We're done. Nibiru or whatever is gonna. The disaster has been tied to a number of biblical prophecies.
He is on his way. That planet, that critter. Oh, by the way, okay, let's go. There have been not a serious point of this. There have been some crazy natural disasters lately. Number one, our hearts go out to Puerto Rico. As they're in trouble right now.
Today, they got hit by Hurricane. Is it Maria? And the entire island of Puerto Rico is 100% without power. They are under an immense amount of water. I mean, 170-mile-an-hour winds hit the island. So.
It hit right on. I mean, it hit square that island, and the people there have said there's not much left in that place. Everybody has been affected by something destroying their houses, and loss of life. Don't know that one yet.
Yep.
And then Mexico gets hit by a 7.1 earthquake.
That earthquake death tolls are over 100 right now for Mexico cities. I mean, it was Mexico City, and skyscrapers fell like dominoes. I mean, it was just unbelievable how much damage was done to the city, and over 100 dead in Mexico, obviously. Still recovering in Florida from, Hurricane Irma. We have Hurricane Harvey, people of Texas, and, are recovering from Harvey. I mean, a lot of disaster going on this year. So, obviously, on a serious note, if, a lot of different organizations out there to donate your money, your clothing, your time, whatever you have. I was down in Houston myself a couple weeks ago doing some work for post-hurricane disaster relief. Lot of good stuff we did. So, I mean, it was crazy stuff to see.
What did you see, Dana? Can you talk much about it?
It's some of the things. So in the northeast part of the Houston, one of the little county areas, like a little suburb, is a area called Humble, okay, Humble, but they pronounce it Humble, no H. So it was in Humble County or Humble Town, and so we were there, and there's a river that runs northeast of Humble, and the river expanded to flood levels they've never seen before. I mean, original estimates said like 100-year floodplain, 1,000-year floodplain, and those are the types of floods that, they say, if you're in a 1,000-year floodplain, once every 1,000 years, you will have a flood so bad that water will get to you. Like, that's how rare those are.
1,000 years.
Okay, that's the 1,000-year floodplain. This Hurricane Harvey brought a 90,000-year floodplain, never before seen. I mean, water that has never reached that height and level in that area. And so, like, there were houses that were completely washed away by the water, just completely gone. Houses that were miles away from the river, like 3-4 miles away, that were submerged under 18 feet of water. I mean, so, like, you're looking at, like, you live 4 miles away from a river, you think you're never going to get flooded. I mean, what are the chances, But they were completely under 18 feet of water. A lot of people. I mean, it was a humbling situation. It was very depressing to see. Obviously, a lot of people's lives affected. Not a lot of deaths, fortunately. I mean, it's there were a few, but and our hearts go out to those that were lost. But moreover, people's lives just changed, after that, for that hurricane. I saw like half of people's houses missing. They were inside what was left of their house, pulling pictures, having them dry out on tables in front of their house. I mean, you would see almost everybody's life belongings in a trash heap in front of their house. I mean, it was pretty.
It was not a pretty sight.
Yeah, I mean, it was it was eye opening. It was
right.
eye opening for, and I've done a lot of disaster relief stuff over the past few years. I've been involved in a lot of different kind of post disaster stuff, and it's always. It gives you a little bit different perspective. We have a lot of things that we complain about in the country, and we complain about our sports teams, and we do all this stuff. And, when you see, you couldn't even imagine putting yourself in their shoes and seeing your entire life just washed away. So, I mean, it's eye-opening, and it changes perspective on a lot of things. And, it's been a crazy month. So,
and J.J. Watt, and thanks to J.J. Watt he started this charity that he was hoping to get $200,000 for. Ended up getting $33 million. So
yeah, I mean,
how many million?
33.
I'm just sort of saying
it's the end of the world.
That's a little
as
creepy.
We know it.
What number is Deion Lewis with the New England Patriots? Do you remember?
I think he might be 33.
Do you know the longest win streak in major professional sports history? How many?
I don't know.
How many wins it was?
What is it?
It's the L.A. Lakers. But you knew this. The L.A. Lakers 72. L.A. Lakers won 33 straight. Did win 33 straight.
That's some X-Files stuff right there.
What if you took Kobe's two numbers, added them together, and added Lonzo Ball? What do you have? What number is that, Bill? 24 plus 8.
Yeah.
Plus Lonzo Ball is number 1.
Oh, yep. 33.
I'm just saying. We probably don't need to go there much anymore, and just know that the signs are all there.
Thanks for listening live, guys. Hopefully you could download this podcast before Saturday. If you can.
Tell a friend before the weekend's out.
Hop a spaceship and
with that, the LA Rams, the 1-1 LA Rams, who look so great against the horrible Indianapolis Colts, are going up against, and then they lost to Washington the next week by a touchdown. Now they take on the San Francisco 49ers, who are 0-2, a Thursday night football game. Rams are -2.5. Bill, I got to tell you, I've told you before, and I mentioned it after the first week. I was 9-5-1.
Yeah,
I was feeling my oats a little bit. That's pretty good. Betting every game against the spread, which is in this league, a Yahoo league that I'm in. So I finished second amongst 12 guys for the week, which there's money in second place. But I felt good about the 9-5-1. Okay, last week I go 8-8, so I get a little dose of reality.
Ooh, yeah.
But still, okay, 8-8. I'll still go there. That felt okay. But this year and last year's, when the Rams moved back to L.A., I have been horrible at picking them. Seriously, I've been chasing them, as it's called in the business.
Yep. I've
been chasing them, and I've been chasing them the wrong way. When I think they're going to win, they lose. When I think they're going to lose, they win. and I'm talking about covering the spread. So I don't know what to think. They're 2.5-point favorites in San Francisco.
Yep. And as I accurately predicted,